Hello everyone and welcome back to Calmlands. This is the multiplayer co-op with Nordic farming. Where is he? He's around here somewhere. There he is. Fantastic. And we have reached episode number 41. Last time we used the Go Wheel DLC to make all of these silage bales with the static baler and wrapper. And we foraged, wagoned, collected all of the grass that we mowed from South Bank Field, our newest field. And that field is a combination of 48, 49, 50 and 90. So we mowed all that up and forage wagoned it. And our static baler converted it all into silage bales. So we have a lot of bales here, 255 to be precise. And we are waiting for them to ferment. They are 61% fermented. And once they are all fermented, we will be lifting and shifting them into the BGA hopper to get them processing into biogas. But for now, we now have a new field that we need to get ploughed up. But before we do, Pig Farm Field, which has our corn in it, has some weeds. So I need to go and herbicide spray that first of all. And Nordic is going to see to some odd jobs like moving some slurry from the pig farm and cow farm to the BGA, and also taking some pig food to the pigs. So we're going to hop in the New Holland Jenny first of all, and we will grab the sprayer, and I'm going to take it to the workshop because on the Jenny we need to fit the narrow tyres, the care wheels, so we're not going to damage the corn as we drive through it. And the sprayer luckily has narrow tyres on it already, so we'll just make sure we're all good in that department. So on the Jenny, we've already purchased the narrow tyres, so we can customise that. Lovely job. So we've got our narrow tyres, and this tractor always does look a little bit funny with narrow tyres, but that is going to keep our corn in good condition. We're not going to be running over it and destroying. But of course, thinner tyres do mean that we are compacting the ground because we've got a lower surface area on our tractors. Wheels. Right, we want herbicide, so I think probably not here, the next one. Get that nicely topped up, although I don't think we were going to be using 100% because we have the See and Spray mod. I'll have to go through here because I can't quite make the angle. Right, let's head over to Pig Farm Field and get our corn herbicided up. Now, fortunately, our sunflowers in Hillside Field don't need any herbiciding because we had to plough the field before we drilled the sunflowers. And that's because we had corn in it previously, and you always need to plough after corn. And we'll have to plough Pig Farm Field after we've harvested this corn as well. So let's get the sprayer unfolded. We can turn the beacon off now. And we can set about heading in at a reasonable width. So these narrow tyres are going to nicely protect, and we should probably look to raise our spray up a little bit because the corn is quite high now. Now we want to make sure we've got good clearance. That looks about right. So let's switch on and we can head in, and our See and Spray technology is going to get into action and zap the weeds where it detects the weeds. But yeah, it's not going to be spraying all the time, so it's really saving on the herbicide. So I'm going to get these weeds all seen to, and I'll see you when we're finished. And that is Pig Farm Field, all herbicide coated. And we only used 11% of our herbicide, and that's fantastic. So the See and Spray really is valuable, although it's quite an expensive piece of technology. Whilst we've been herbiciding, Nordic has been busy getting some slurry to the BGA and taking some pig food to the pigs. And now I think he's giving some water to both the cows and the pigs. So that's pretty handy. By the time we get the tractor and the sprayer washed up and parked away, we'll put the wide tyres back on the Jenny as well. Get everything parked up. We should be ready to start moving on to the next job, which is going to be ploughing our latest addition to Calm Farm, which is South Bank Field. And I coined the name South Bank Field last time, and I didn't get any other suggestions as to what we should call it, so I think we'll go with South Bank for now, but if anyone comes up with anything better or has a better name for it, then let me know. Right, we want to wash this first, not park it up. Wide tyres back on the Jenny, so we can get this parked up now, and Nordic is ready and waiting for us. Lovely job. And we will need one of the two bigger tractors, either the T8 or the Xerion, to do the ploughing of South Bank Field next. So Nordic has jumped in the Xerion, so we will grab the T8, and that's quite nice because I get to use the older brother of the Jenny. And yeah, we will head on, grab the ploughs, and we can get to ploughing South Bank Field. Once we've ploughed it up, we will have to purchase the soil information, and then it'll be on to liming it to make sure it has the right pH. Oh, I think the plough is in the other side. I've come to the wrong end. My bad. There we go. Now we've got it. Let's follow Nordic over to South Bank. Turns out we are leading the way, and that means we'll have to set the headland for the field. Make sure we get the boundary all correct. So let's head on down there, and then we'll have to get the map up so we can find the correct border for the field. Now, Cowman Field to the left, which has soybeans in, is in the last stage of growth. So hopefully next time we'll have that ready to harvest. And we've also got soybeans in Lakeside Field, which is just there to the left now, in front of the BGA. And those are our two biggest fields, so we will have quite the soybean harvest come next session. Righty ho, so this is the area where South Bank Field is going to be, and luckily we can kind of follow where we've mowed. But we will be leaving a border between South Bank Field and Cowman Field, up there where the border's going to be. But let's unfold. Want to make sure that we are leaving a bit of space, and we'll have to make sure we got great fields turned on. There we go, and we are away. So I'm a little bit hesitant about going into front ways camera during this. I will work it my best, and we will head round and plough up all this field to find the border of South Bank. Yeah, I don't really need the map open. I can just follow where we mowed, which is fantastic. And I think Nordic is following on behind. We might just slow up and wait for him. There he is. Right, so we're going to get this all created, ploughed up. I'll try and keep this line as neat as possible. Quite difficult on a hill. But yeah, leave this with us, and we'll see you when we're all ploughed up. it is. The little section that we missed on one of our rows. And I said I was going to come back and fix it to myself. And I did. There we go. So that is the field all ploughed. And that was quite a big job. Nordic is just tidying up a little bit of the corner over there where we did the headland. Just so it's a little bit straighter on the edge. I was sort of ploughing where we had mowed. And yeah, that was sort of a little bit weavy. So we're just straightening up the field edge to make it nice and straight. But we kept a nice little border up here between South Bank and Cowman Field. So we can drive through this passage with quite wide equipment, which is pretty handy. So yeah, we can drive through here and not damage any of the crops. And a good route of access for us. So we will drive back to the yard. We will get the plough and the T8 washed up. And then it's on to liming. And one of us is going to lime, and then one of us is going to run the auger wagon, because we are going to absolutely chew through that lime, by my reckoning. But we will have to purchase the soil information for that field as well. Spectacular. So we can give this a well-earned wash. Pretty dirty. Luckily, it's the first plough going in the shed, so we can just drive on through and have any reversing to do in an awkward fashion. Fantastic. So we now need to get the spreader, and I can't recall if this has got fertilizer or lime in. I think it's probably got fertilizer in from fertilizing the farmhouse field in a previous session. Ah yes, fertilizer. So we need to go empty that and fill it up with lime, and then Nordic will be grabbing the auger wagon, the Bergman one to the left, and filling that with lime. I think that's got lime in already, so that shouldn't need much topping up. Okay, so fertilizer dropped off. I will tidy that up whilst it's filling up with lime over here. So that's got 100% in, and I think that cost us around $2,000. So we will now head over to South Bank Field. Nordic has got the auger wagon, and it has got full lime, so he didn't need to top that up. And I can see that he is busy purchasing the soil information, so we will check that out on the map once we get over there. I think Nordic has parked up here, which means we're probably going to start somewhere over here. But before we do, let's take a little look at the soil information. I think Nordic has purchased one. So we have purchased the soil information, and we have a good mixture of soil types. I think we cover every single one. But if we take a little look, yep, the pH is very imbalanced, so we need to get that covered off with lime. And then nitrogen looking pretty bad there as well. So depending on what crop we put in, we'll have to fertilize. But the seed drill, the seed hawk, should see to that. Right, let's get to lime spreading. I think I'm going to keep the cover open so Nordic can top us up as we are going. Let's head on in and switch on. And make sure we've got the right width. Looks to be about right. Precision farming is going to make sure we don't waste any scraps. And here's Nordic topping us up with the auger wagon. And he will have to go and fetch lime from the refill station. And there's one down by the BGA now, which is a bit handier. So we're going to get this all lime spread. And we'll see you when we're finished. There we go. So we have ran out of lime, and then there's a couple of strips that we've left at the end here. It's pretty negligible, so I think we're just going to leave that as is. And to be honest, the way that precision farming works, I think that that won't discount too much of the area. Sometimes it does lime areas, but doesn't actually apply the texture. So yeah, that should be fine. But that area is all limed up, and probably a bigger job than ploughing, to be honest, because our auger wagon is only small, and we have to keep popping back to the lime top-up point. And there's quite a few trips, I think 2 or 3 trips back to fill up the auger wagon and then fill up the lime spreader. At some point, I think we might have to get a bigger spreader in terms of capacity, and also a bigger auger wagon. But unfortunately, the funds are not allowing that at the moment. We did dip into the negative from purchasing the soil information on those fields. So we had to take out a small loan just to keep us in the positive so we could buy some lime. So yeah, once we make some money off those silage bales, we should be good to pay that off. Right, let's get this back to the yard, washed and parked away. And whilst I'm doing that, Nordic is going to be heading over to the dealership because he's going to purchase a bale grab. And that's for the Fiat Agri, which is the only vehicle that we have a sort of front loader capability on at the moment. And we're going to be using that to take the bales from the bale shed and putting them into the BGA hopper. So that's the T8 parked up, and we'll go and meet Nordic down by the BGA. So we are down by the BGA. I think we will move the Schluter out of the way so we can get some good access to the bale shed. So we've got a clear run to the BGA hopper. So Nordic is down here with the Fiat Agri, and he has bought a bale grab. I think it's called the Albert bale grab, and he's bought a weight for the back because yeah, it's probably quite heavy, all of those silage bales, 5,500 litres in all of them. And he will be depositing this in the BGA hopper. In it goes. Oh, he's lifting up the front. Oh, and he's tipped a few out. I'm sure he will tidy that up. But yeah, Nordic's going to do the first stint of loading, and then I'll take it over. But whilst he is loading, we will be busy spawning out the bales, which we can do by going up to the shed and clicking on the unload section. And it seems like we can spawn 25 at a time, but we are just going to test spawning 6. And oh, that stacks them quite nicely there. So I think he'll actually do 4. He'll do 4 at a time, and then yeah, we'll spawn the optimum amount that he needs at any given time. So I'm going to stand here and try and get a view of all the action, and we'll see you when we've made some good progress. And there we go. 4 bales in at a time. And I've loaded quite a few loads now. I think we're down to around 170 bales left. So, Nordic and I are going to carry on doing this. As you can see, we dropped down to real time. So, yeah, we will persist and load this all up until the BGA is full. But we will leave it there. That is it for today. Hope you have enjoyed watching. We, of course, herbicided pig farm field and got all the weeds cleared. We then ploughed South Bank field, and that's our latest field. Got the soil info, and then we limed that all up to get that ready for drilling. And we will be drilling it next time. And also next time we'll hopefully have both Lakeside field, which is here, and also Cowman field up the top near the cow farm, ready to harvest have our soybeans in. And yep, we will continue getting all these bales loaded into the BGA. Please check out Nordic's channel for his perspective of today's session. And if you have any tips, tricks or things you'd like us to do, then feel free to leave a comment. But all there's left to say is, hope to see you again next time on Calmlands, and until then, we'll catch you later. Cheers all, bye bye.